Hey everyone, and welcome back to the AI Tech channel. Today, we're diving headfirst into a story that's got the tech world buzzing, and not in a good way. We're talking about Meta, yes, that Meta, and allegations that they've been using pirated books to train their AI models. I know, right? It sounds like something out of a cyberpunk novel, but it's real. Or at least, the lawsuit is. So, the big question, did Meta really steal books to power their AI? And if so, what are the consequences? Buckle up, because this could change everything about how AI is developed. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's the gist of the story. According to court documents, Meta is accused of torrenting terabytes, that's right, terabytes, of copyrighted books from shadow libraries like LibGen and ZLibrary. Now, these aren't exactly your grandma's book club sources. These are notorious for hosting pirated content. The lawsuit alleges that Meta used this illegally obtained data to train its large language models, the ones that power things like their AI assistants and chatbots. And get this, the documents even show that Meta employees were aware of the potential ethical and legal issues. One email reportedly said, and I quote, "Torrenting from a corporate laptop doesn't feel right." Seriously? You think? This isn't just a small oversight. This is a potentially massive copyright infringement. This is a bombshell. All right, let's break down the immediate impact. First, the legal fallout. Meta is staring down the barrel of a potentially massive copyright infringement lawsuit. We're talking huge fines, legal fees that could make your head spin, and serious reputational damage. Think about it. If a court finds Meta guilty, it sets a precedent for how AI companies can and cannot source their training data. This isn't just about books. It's about setting the rules for the entire AI industry. And you know what? It's about time someone did. But that's not all. Meta might be forced to retrain its AI models using legally sourced data. Talk about expensive and time-consuming. Plus, there's a real chance the retrained models won't perform as well, meaning a potential downgrade in their AI capabilities. Ouch. And let's not forget the open source community. I predict a serious backlash against Meta. Open source thrives on collaboration and shared knowledge, but it also respects intellectual property. This alleged blatant disregard for copyright could alienate a lot of developers and researchers who might otherwise contribute to Meta's AI projects. This could really hurt Meta's future development. Moving on to the adjacent industries, the publishing world is likely sharpening its claws. Expect a much stronger stance on copyright protection. Publishers will be actively pursuing legal action against anyone using copyrighted material without permission. In the entertainment industry, seeing this as a green light might ramp up its own copyright enforcement efforts. Get ready for more DMCA takedowns and legal battles. But there's also a potential upside. This could lead to the emergence of companies specializing in providing legally sourced and licensed datasets for AI training. A whole new market could be born out of this mess. Talk about a silver lining, maybe. And what about LibGen and ZLibrary, the shadow libraries at the center of this controversy? Increased scrutiny and pressure to shut them down or restrict access are almost guaranteed. This is a double-edged sword. On one hand, protecting copyright is essential. On the other, these libraries often provide access to knowledge for people who can't afford expensive academic journals or textbooks. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. It is a risk and needs to be addressed. Now, for the big picture, the socio-economic impact. Public trust in tech companies is already shaky, and this alleged piracy scandal is only going to make things worse. If Meta is seen as prioritizing profit over ethics and the law, it'll erode trust even further. And that's especially important when we're talking about AI, a technology that's rapidly changing our world. It sparks a broader public debate about the ethics of using copyrighted material for AI training. There's a real risk because of the responsibilities of AI developers to respect intellectual property rights. Seriously, what are we teaching our machines if we are teaching them to steal? Could this lead to a slowdown in AI innovation? Absolutely. The increased legal and ethical constraints on data acquisition could make companies more cautious about the data they use. This might mean slower progress in some areas of AI. It could also disproportionately affect smaller companies and startups that don't have the resources to acquire large, legally sourced datasets. And let's not forget the impact on authors and creators. The unauthorized use of their copyrighted material directly affects their income and their ability to create new works. It's simply not fair, guys. Now, let's switch gears, because there's another tech titan facing some serious headwinds. Elon Musk and X, formerly Twitter. Reports are surfacing that X is struggling under a mountain of debt, and banks are getting nervous. Apparently, X is barely breaking even. which is not exactly music to the ears of lenders who are owed billions. This is a financial tightrope walk. Banks are very concerned about their $13 billion investment. That tells you everything you need to know. The direct impact here is pretty straightforward. Increased pressure on X to improve its financial performance. This could lead to even more cost-cutting measures, layoffs, or drastic changes to the platform's business model. And the banks holding X's debt? They could face potential losses if the company continues to struggle. We're talking about potential write-downs and a general sense of unease. Plus, this doesn't exactly help Musk's reputation. It raises concerns about his ability to manage large, complex organizations. That's a big problem for him. And get this, reduced investor confidence in X and other Musk-led ventures is happening right now. This will make it much harder to raise capital in the future. Investors don't like uncertainty, and X is currently swimming in it. Advertisers may continue to shift their spending away from X to other social media platforms. That further exacerbates X's financial problems. Other social media platforms may benefit from X's struggles. You can bet that the competitors are loving this right now. And what about the socio-economic impact of all this? Continued concerns about the platform's content moderation policies and the potential for the spread of misinformation and hate speech. This is a constant battle for any social media platform, but X's financial instability makes it even harder to address. X's financial instability could impact its role in political discourse. People are concerned about the dissemination of information during elections. This could have a broader impact on society. Further layoffs at X could contribute to unemployment. That brings the potential for economic hardship for affected workers. The situation reinforces the perception that billionaires are often out of touch with the real world. It also shows their ventures can have negative consequences for society. That's a pretty grim picture. People are starting to lose faith in these individuals. Let's circle back to Meta and talk about risk. The legal risks are obvious. A copyright infringement lawsuit with potentially massive financial penalties. A court could order Meta to stop using the AI models trained on the pirated data. That would be a major setback. But there are also ethical risks. The article emphasizes the ethical concerns surrounding the use of pirated material. This undermines the principles of intellectual property and fair compensation for creators. It erodes trust. The public may perceive Meta as unethical and untrustworthy if it's found to be profiting from stolen content. And what about the AI models themselves? If they're trained on biased or unreliable data from pirated sources, it could affect their quality and accuracy. That will lead to poor performance and user dissatisfaction. The pirated data sources may contain intentionally poisoned or corrupted data. That could compromise the integrity of the AI models. Downloading data from unofficial sources carries the risk of introducing malware. It could also produce other security vulnerabilities into Meta's systems. It's a recipe for disaster. For X, the core risk is financial instability. If X is barely breaking even, it may struggle to repay its debts. The bank's concerns about their $13 billion investment highlight the risk of X defaulting on its debt obligations. That could lead to bankruptcy. Banks could force a sale of X or demand a restructuring of the company to recover their investment. Musk could lose control of X. He would lose control if he's unable to meet the demands of the banks. So, what's the takeaway from all this? For Meta, the future hinges on the outcome of this lawsuit. It's a wake-up call for the entire AI industry. It's a reminder that ethical data sourcing is not optional. It's essential. For Musk and X, the clock is ticking. The company needs to turn things around quickly or face some serious consequences. Both of these stories highlight the challenges and responsibilities that come with being a tech giant. The world is watching, and the stakes are incredibly high. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more AI tech news. Until next time.